have wanted a big tank to try out many different plant species for some time now. This is what this tank will be. Let's get started. I'm again using Tropica soil. One thing that bothers me in my 60p aquarium is that smaller plants like my Monte Carlo have a hard time growing in and forming a strong enough root system to hold on. That's why I will cover the normal soil with powder soil this time. This should make planting much easier. For reference, I ended up using 9 liters of normal and about 6 liters of powder soil. Now I filled up the tank. I also added the filter and the heater. Personally, I find it much easier to plant everything with the tank already running. No worrying about plants drying out, and you immediately know if a plant will float up or not. Now it's time to prepare the plants. I decided to make a separate video about this because I think it's really important. I will upload it in the following weeks, so stay tuned. I chose a selection of easy plants with fast growth. These plants will settle in quick and absorb excess nutrients while the tank is still cycling. It gives you a much easier start with less problems in the first weeks. I will add and swap out some plants later down the road, but for now, finding balance is key. I continued to plant the whole tank. While doing that, I keep a few things in mind. First, create contrast. Place plants with different colors and leaf shapes next to each other. Second, use plants that get bigger in the back of the tank while covering the foreground with smaller species. For obvious reasons, you want to be able to see your plants. And third, plant in patches and leave space between different species. I missed out on this one recently in my 60p, and now my plants are all growing into and above each other, which gives me much more maintenance. You can see that I use different Hygrophilas. They are fast growing and easy, perfect for the start. Other plants with low demands are Bacopa caroliniana, Limnophila sessiliflora and Egeria najas. In the foreground, I used Monte Carlo and Lilaeopsis brasiliensis to get some nice carpets there. In the right front corner, I used Hygrophila tripartita because of its unique leaf shape. I will try to keep it low. For a pop of color, I planted Ludwigia repens aquata, which should get orange to red. Next to it, I planted Lobelia cardinalis Wavy. It just looks so unique. And I planted a large area in the front with Alternanthera reineckii mini. In the center, super fast grower with fine textures, Hemianthus glomeratus. On its left, a few stems of a plant that Aquasabi sent me for free to try it out. Bacopa serpyllifolla. I have never heard of this plant before, so I'm really excited how it will turn out. By the way, I bought all these plants at Aquasabi. In the center of the back rank, I used a plant that I have tried out before and failed. Pogostemon erectus. Maybe I will succeed this time. It looks stunning when growing healthy. And lastly, the remains of a fast-growing eye-catcher, Shinnersia rivularis Weiss-Grün. It arrived partly melted away, so I could only use the tops, but that's okay, because it was clearly mentioned that this plant does not handle transport well. I still wanted to try it out, and I think it will make it. Once it is grown in, it should be beautiful and easy to keep. I know this is quite a lot of Latin, so I made this plant for you. You can look up the plants in the video description. I use an AquaEl Ultramax 1500 for this tank. The heater is from Eheim and is keeping a temperature of 22 to 23 degrees Celsius. The plants will get their light from a Chihiros A901. I will also use CO2 and fertilizers in this tank, but I will tell you more about how I run this tank in a future update. I'll see you in the next one.